Hi everyone. Today we'll discuss a very unique topic, very emerging topic in the field of social work, the green social work. Also, we know the green social work as a environmental social work. This field is currently very emerging field, very important in the field of social work practitioners. So, as a social work profession, I would like to take a full lecture on green social work, its uses, its implications in the social work education. The whole video is divided into two parts. The first part focuses on the green social work and its concept. The second part is focuses about the integrating of the eco-centric social work practice in our social work education. So let's start with the today's lecture on green social work and its way to sustainable future. So first we understand why we'll discuss the environmental social work. Why environment is important. In the field of social work, there are a lot of specialization is there, geologists are there, environmental scientist is there, all the specialists is there. But after all, as social worker, why we will enter in this field? Why social work role is very important in the field of environment? Let's start with some of the statistics. If you see the statistics, several statistics is saying the natural disaster, the environment, which is directly affecting the human health, human mental health, directly and indirectly, it's a high correlation. If you take the farmer suicide, it is because of weather. When somebody is dying, the whole family is also disturbing. If you take the water population, if you take the water pollution, waterborne diseases, it is affecting to our health. Once it will affect to our health, it is also affecting to our family system. It is affecting to our economic system. It is affecting to our intellectual. All these things are interconnected with each other. A healthy life, when we talk about a healthy life, it is very important. The healthy environment is required. The very recent statistics, if you see in the comparison between urbanization and the rural area, the people living in the urban area, they are 21% more likely toward mental health disorder in comparison those who are staying in the rural area. So these statistics are very limited, but all the statistics which are related to environment, they are directly related to the human growth and development. For a healthy life, we should protect our environment. We should do the work for our environment. We should help our future generation. Let's start with some of the slokas. We know the land is our mother. I am that we are her child. माता भूमि ही पुत्र ही पृथ्वी। ये धरती हमारा माता है और हम उनके पुत्र हैं. If you see the importance of a tree, it's clearly mentioned. Dasa Pupa Sami Bapihi, Dasa Bapi Samaho Radaha, Dasa Rada Samaho Putraho, Dasa Putru Samaha Druma. They're telling one tree is equal to 10 sun. 1 sun is equal to 10 reservoir, and one reservoir is equal to 10 pond, and one pond is equal to 10 well. If you calculate in this way, that means one tree is equal to 10,000 well, which is very important. You see, one tree, how it is important in our life. Every day we are cutting the tree. Every day, when the time of summer, we are blaming the environment, though day to day the temperature is increasing. But directly, we the people who are the responsible to protect our environment, which we are failing in the protect. Slowly, decade by decade, we are cutting the trees, we are deforestation, everything we are doing in the name of development, but there is no replacement. We should understand. There is no replacement of the environment. That's why we should work for the development. If you see the sloka, Like परोपकाराय कल्यांति वृक्षः परोपकाराय वहन्ति नदः परोपकाराय द्रुहन्ति गाः परोपकाराय निदं शरीरम्. So all the nature they are helping to other. It is their duty. We should help, and as a human being, we should help to our nature as well as to others. This is our duty towards our environment. Let's start. What do you mean by green social work? It's a new approach, yes. For a social work practice, we are newly incorporating. Previously, we known as environmental social work. Now we are telling it a green social work. What exactly it is? It's the interconnectedness between social and environmental issue. The environmental issue which is affecting to the social life, the personal life, the human being. That field is known as a green social work. If you go to the definition, it is clearly shown. It is a relationship between people and their interaction with the flora and fauna. Very interesting. The people, those who are living in the earth, it is with them. It is with their animal, it is with their plant. Everything they are working. So, and it is creates the eco-social, economic and physical environment crisis. And it is the well-being for the human planet. So, green social work is all about for a healthy life, for a elite life, we need a healthy social, healthy green or a healthy environment. If just see, just give an example in India, most of the metropolitan cities, which is affecting by day, deteriorating. The condition is deteriorating. If you take the example of Delhi, now due to the highly use of the carbon dioxide, means the transportation services, more polluted areas, people are suffering to take the breath, which is affecting their mental and health as well as. So the environmental social work, the green social work is very important. We can tell it's also one of the methods which we should work. Not today we are not incorporating, but slowly after some decade, definitely it will be a part of, it will be a huge as a method of social work. Because without environment, there is no existence of the human being. When we talk about the environment, we have to talk about the human being. We have to talk a sustainable livelihood. So the human should not think without the environment. Environment is the nature, the which is a God gifted, which there is no replacement of it. Let's start with some of the core principles. If we tell about the core principles, environmental justice should be there. That means all communities should have equal access. Sustainability should be there, and the access should be continuously. It's not that 1 year, 1 month, that should not be. For 1 year, we'll provide good environment. After that, everything worst. No, it's not like this. The third one is the ecocentric. What do you mean by ecocentric? Ecocentric is nothing but human-centric perspective. That means we should help the environment. If you see these two graphs, it's very clear, very clear. The ecological and ecological. What does it mean? When we talk about the ecological, we are telling we are everything. We are all the above. But it is wrong. If we do like this, we will be self-destructive. We are delusion. This is not a sustainable approach. But when we are talk about the ecological, ecological means that means we all are each other. We are dependent each other. Without the flora and fauna, we are not nothing anything. So instead of ecological, we should go for ecological. So we should leave ego from our ecosystem. Then only we can survive as a healthy human being. Now we are talking about neoliberalism. Very important. We need it due to the reformation of the economic sector. We need the neoliberalism. But in the name of neoliberalism, we should not affect or we should not destroy our environment. Our environment is important. Whatever we are doing for the future. So all these things, evidence-based, innovative action, co-production, transdisciplinary working, all these will work together. Our neoliberalism and environment both are the important factor which should work together for a healthy life. That is called the interdisciplinary working of each other to help each other. Now, Let's start with the understanding with the environmental crisis. Very important. When we talk about the environmental crisis, it is very important. So when we talk about that one, environmental crisis, we should know it is a interconnected, it's a multifaceted. It's a climate change, it's a pollution, it's a population, it's a deforestation. All these things are coming. It's a biodiversity loss, resource depletion. All these things are coming all together when we talk about the environmental crisis. And most important factor, when the environmental crisis is happening, the most marginalized people only they are suffering. Because if there is a degradation in our air, carbon dioxide, to get a good oxygen, they cannot affordable a oxygen. We can go and we can use room refresher, we can use so many gadgets which will help us. But the marginalized section, what will do? The poor section, what they will do? So most of the people, those who are prone towards this environmental crisis, they are the marginalized community. So if we talk about this marginalized community and the environmental crisis, broadly it is affecting the hazardous waste. It is due to the limited access to the clean water. The third one is the increase the risk climate related disaster. Three important factors. When first one is the hazardous waste, second one is the clean water, third one is the climate related disaster. The first one, when we will talk about the hazardous waste, several waste are there. Solid waste, liquid waste, gaseous waste, then sludge waste like thick, wet, semi-solid like batteries, semiconductor, all these things are hazardous waste. We are using in our daily life. We are throwing it out after using some of the batteries in our torch, in our daily life, in our watch, in our anywhere. We are using the small, small batteries. But after use, what we are doing? We are not disposing in proper way. We are throwing it out, which is contaminated, highly contaminated to the environment. Using some of the plastics, some of the covers, some of the products and throwing it out in the normal water, then it's affecting to the water resources. If you will not get the clean water, then it is affect to the health. Very important. You should think it all are interconnected with each other. And if you don't clean water and everyone cannot afford a RO, so that is very important. And when we will go for the in risk to the climate related disaster, everything is happening in our life. Climate related disaster, if you see, every flood are there, extreme flood, extreme heat is there, landslides are there, all these things are there. So what exactly we will do? Crisis is there. We have to manage the crisis. Some of the crises are nature made, some of the crises are man made. Nature-made crisis, we don't have control, but we can overcome of this one. But man-made crisis having a long effect. Climate crisis is a short term, but man-made crisis, man-made disaster, it's a long term. We should think. We should think our next generation, what we are giving to our next generation. That is very important. So, as a social worker, we should know all these things. What we mean by climate change? Climate change is disproportionately affecting the marginalized communities highly, and it is creating a social inequality among those who have and don't have. It's not only economic resources. Just give an example. Due to climate change, we are using room heater. Everyone cannot afford. Then there is a gap. During climate change, we are using refrigerator. Everyone cannot have. We are using uh, other gadgets which is helping and smoothing our life very smooth, but everyone cannot use that one. So that is the effect of climate change. And as a social worker, you should recognize this environmental effect and work on this how to minimize the impact. The second one, the environmental justice. As a social worker, we should create a sustainable and healthy environment which will affect, which will use all the people. All the people. It is our duty to care and uh, for and care about the other. It's not only us. Everything. Everything we should know and we should understand. We should do environmental justice. And how we will do? If you see this picture, it's clearly stated. It's clearly saying everything should start with a person, then it should go with the family, community, nation, and the international domain. It's not that government is every time we are blaming the government. Government is not doing. We are not getting clean water. We are blaming government. We are claiming government that we are not getting water on time. But when the rainy season, we are not conserving. We are constructing. We are blocking the road. We are blocking the drain. Everything we are doing. So it's a holistic approach, and that approach should start from a person in both ways: government duty to the person and persons toward the government, both inward and outward. Then only it is possible. When we will work for the environmental, it everyone should come. At a personal level, we should start. Then we will help our family. We will tell our family about the pros and cons. The family should propagate to the community. So slowly, every step, it is highly required. So when we talk, everything we should use, like our politics, economic forces, spirituality, faith. Why spirituality and other things we are telling? Because in most of the religion we are worshipping the nature, the mountain, the sun. That means we are worshipping means we have the concern about it. Very simple example I am telling you. In like Hindu religion, we are worshipping the most of the festivals in near to the river or anything. But when you are worshipping something, but after worshipping the garbage, you are throwing the same river. Then how to do that one? All the rituals, all the festivals we are doing, when we are at the time of immersion of the god and goddess, we are throwing it in the river, the pond. It is affecting the chemicals. It is affecting. That we should think our future, what we are giving, we should use the eco-friendly things. That is our most important factor. Now discuss about the ecological justice and social work. So what do we mean by social justice? The social justice which we are talking about, the green social work address to the determinant of environmental issue. So which is known as a social justice, and we should promote the sustainability. It is our very important, always we should promote the sustainability. Otherwise it is affected. So how we will do? We will identify the hazard. We will do the risk assessment, mitigation, plan, intervention, action plan, everything. And we should do with the community engagement. Because to protect the environment, it's not the individual one. Always it is required the community intervention. Then only it is possible to for a healthy and sustainable society. This is all about the first part of our topic today. What is green social work? What is the use of green social work? Different concepts related to green social work. How, as a social worker, what we should know, what we should do for the green social work. This is all about your first part of the green social work. The second part, the related to the eco-centric practice in social work and our syllabus, how we'll incorporate syllabus, how we'll strengthen our syllabus, how we'll strengthen our fraternity. That we'll discuss in our second video. Thank you.